Hello and welcome everyone, this is White Nun with Nun2 Games here to tell you that you should be playing Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars is a fantasy MMORPG from ArenaNet that came out back in August 2012. Despite the fact that it's been out for quite a while, it's still continuously updated and kind of has a good feeling of not being left behind despite starting right now. Before we get too deep into the differences of Guild Wars and what kind of sets it apart from other MMORPGs out there, let's go ahead and discuss how it is they make money. So the first part is there is an initial cost to buy the game. The game currently runs for $49.99 for the basic edition, but it's not bad because that buys you the full game. What I mean by that is from the moment you load up, from the moment you log in, create your character, the entire game is accessible to you. Unlike some other games out there where they kind of restrict things in some areas, this is actually the full game. It's kind of sad that is the point where we're at that we have to say that, oh, you get the full game for that price, but that's what happens now. However, ArenaNet does make a little bit of extra money on the side because there is no subscription model by offering some microtransactions. However, these microtransactions are not very needed. They're strictly cosmetic, they're strictly convenient. They actually have no effect on the gameplay whatsoever. So if I go up here, the Black Lion Trading Company, as you can see, bring up a little store here. First thing you see here is this is armor, but it's not. It's just an armor skin. The glove skin has no stats of its own, can only be applied and replace the appearance of a glove item of any weight class. So you can look a little different, you can buy different looks, but you don't actually buy armor, which is really nice. There, of course, are services available. Bank access, things like that. Again, these are mostly convenient services. These are not for, they're not necessary. Boosts available, definitely not necessary. There's, can help you, but, you get plenty of XP. You actually, nice thing about this game is you can actually win a lot of these XP boosts and such as for different quest objectives, for completing different dailies, for different challenges. So you don't even have to necessarily buy these all the time. So if you look at how much it costs to buy gems, come here. It's about $10 for 800, which isn't too bad. If you look here, 125 for that. Some of the styles we can look, so 400, so not even $10, about $5 for these things. But again, 100% optional, not necessary at all. You can actually get some pretty cool skins for your armor just in the game. They're all, or not all of them. There's a lot available just in the game, so you don't have to buy them. One thing to note, though, is the game does come with only 5 character slots, and you are kind of bound to a server. Once you pick a server, create a character on it, you're kind of stuck there. Sort of. Where, of course, you can pay, I believe it's just the 800 gems, so $10 to transfer servers to play with your friends or join their guild. Guild Wars also offers nice, something called a guest pass, which is really nice. So if your friends are on another server, you can actually join them on their server using a guest pass and still play with them. So you don't even need to necessarily transfer servers if your friends are playing on another server, which is nice. I don't really know of pretty much any other game that does that currently, that it's under the free to play or the freemium or however you want to say it game model. So the other thing about this is if you go down to the currency exchange, you can actually trade gold for gems. So the in-game gold you make, click here. If I say I have 1 gold, I can get 11 gems for that. Now, of course, it's not much. I guess I can't bet more than I have. So 2 gold, 29 gems. So you can see it kind of goes up. Not too bad. So average price for 100 gems right now is 8 gold. By the time you get to the max level, which I am not yet, I hear gold is pretty easy to obtain, so the gem trade just really isn't bad. So let's get into the gameplay and the game features. So something I liked about this game that's unique is every class, of course, or I guess in this game they're actually called professions, which will throw you for a loop if you've played other MMOs, because of your profession is your class, and then your crafting skills are just that, they're crafting skills. So your profession or your class comes with, you're able to use a variety of different weapons, and every weapon actually really changes combat pretty greatly. It really changes the role you play in combat, the way you deal damage, how much damage you deal, and just your overall gameplay, which is amazing to me. So if I go to my hero tab here, and I go down to my skills and traits, and go to my weapon skills, as you can see, I can use an axe, a dagger, a scepter, a staff, a focus, which is some sort of this offhand item, a war horn, a spear, and then a trident. Everyone's able to use a trident underwater. Underwater combat is very different. I'll go more into that in a bit. So if I had an axe in my main hand, I have these different 3 spells, and then I can only hold an axe in my main hand. If I have a dagger in my main hand, I have these 3 different spells. Or if I had it in my offhand, which I currently do, as you can see, I have 2 different spells as well. Scepter, staff, everything's different. So currently I am doing a scepter dagger build. My build currently focuses on causing a lot of bleed damage and causing a lot of damage over time. However, if I were to switch out and go to say axe and focus, I believe, if I remember correctly, that's more about dealing direct damage, and it really changes the gear that you have. So currently I have a bunch of gear that kind of focuses on something called condition, as you can see right there, +6 condition damage. Condition is the dots that you put on someone. So I have a lot of gear that increases the amount of damage my dots do. If I were to switch to my axe here, I would want more weapons and stats focusing on power, because I'll be doing direct damage and I'll be wanting to deal more damage. So that's what's really interesting about just kind of the gameplay and the spells and with the different weapons, and how it can kind of really completely change everything just by having a different weapon in your hand. Another thing is unique is slot skills. So 1 through 5 here are your weapon skills that you build up, and then 6 through 0 are your slot skills that are right here. 0 is an elite skill, whereas all the other slots 6 through 9 are, you can kind of, or actually 7 through 9 are your utility, and 6 is your healing ability. So every profession, every profession has some sort of healing ability, self-healing ability, or group healing ability, depending who you are. And they have various different ones that you can unlock, and then they all go into slot 6 here. Everyone then has utility items, which you put through 7 through 8, and then of course elite that you put in slot 0. The way you unlock these is you can see these unspent skill points here. You can see these prices for skills here. If you look throughout the map, let's see if I can find a place with some. Right here, skill point, earn a skill point here. So if I were to travel to this area, there is a challenge. There is something I have to do, and then I earn a skill point. There are skill points in every zone, and you really do need to kind of travel to every zone and collect them all to kind of unlock everything, because as you saw, my skill points, they get up to 30 each, so you need to get up there. And of course, like every other game, there's traits, or your oh my gosh, I can't remember what they're called in World of Warcraft, but your traits, these are kind of what makes you a little bit unique. These kind of are what spec. That's right. This is your spec. This is how you kind of spec out your character, your profession, class, whatever you want to call it. Oh my god. I've been doing that too much. Been waiting so long. So dive back in here. So next, let's go ahead and talk about the questing. What's a little bit different about the questing, and I'll actually port to an area with a quest I completed and kind of show you what it's like to do. The big thing that everyone discussed was how the game just doesn't feel grindy at all. and it's true. It really doesn't. It's still, I mean, if you want to get to the true sense of what it means to grind something, it is. I mean, it's an LRPG. What do you expect? But it does have a lot of kind of interaction with the world that makes it not feel like you're just going out and collecting or killing 10 things, etc. So come out here. What just popped up here is something called a world event. So world events, and these can actually help you with your quest, is something that just spawns, just an event that spawns, and you can participate in it with as many people as you want. And the more you participate in it, the better score you get, and the score equals more gold. Ooh, how do I fix this hay bale? It equals more gold and more karma, and karma, those are both just different currencies. There's probably a bucket of water I need. This bag of feed. Anyway, so while I'm here, I'll kill guys and just keep talking about the quest. So this quest here probably required me to do different things. Kill these bandits, so you can still go around killing things. If you saw these feed bags over here, these bags of feed, probably I had to kind of take them, pick them up, walk over to one of these cows, and I bet you feed it. Yeah. And that would have given me points. Or, I guess, yeah, it would give me points toward the quest, or something like that. So that's what makes this feel different, in the sense of you're not quite just going around killing people. You're not just quite going out trying to find 10 different whatevers on somebody, right? You're actually kind of contributing. You actually feel like you're contributing and assisting in the quest. Something interesting about questing is it's not very linear either. You can kind of go wherever you want, wherever you want. Obviously, if you go to a zone that's much higher level, you'll probably die a lot faster, but I mean, you still can. At any point, you can come down to lower zones, and it's actually encouraged at points to go to a lower zone, kind of level up a little bit, get those skill points. If you see down here, there's a little arrow next to my level. So despite the fact that I'm level 41, all my stats have been scaled down to being 5. However, this doesn't change the fact that I still have far more spells than a level 5 would, and I can still kill things very easily, but I'm not running around here just completely one-shotting things and gaining no experience. So you still gain less experience, yes, but you still gain a decent amount of experience. So going to lower zones and continuing questing is actually sometimes necessary and encouraged. And it's not always bad because, again, you're not going to feel overpowered and walk around like, oh, you can just completely one-shot everything. So that's always nice. Another thing, of course, this game does come with dungeons and such. I recently unlocked a dungeon. They're a little later in the game. You can't access them immediately. But the dungeons are really fun. So one thing that's unique about this game is there aren't any traditional roles. So you don't have a strict, healer, tank, damage roles. From what I hear, see, despite the fact I left, was successful in that event, and I got a gold level, netting that much experience, that much karma, that much. Well, it's not gold, but that much currency. So back to the roles. So there aren't the traditional roles, which are nice. So from what I hear, is rumored, and I don't know how true this is, but I've heard it. Anyone can be anything. Anyone can be a tank. Anyone can be a healer. Anyone can be damage. But of course, different people excel differently, or different professions excel very differently at different roles. So as a necromancer, which is here I am now, I can do one of two things very well. I can deal damage, or I can heal. If I were to heal, I would want to switch to my scepter here. This does a lot more AoE damage, so I can kind of still provide and help deal damage, but then I changed out my slot skills to actually benefiting my allies more. Unlike other games, it's not like someone just stands there and, like a tank just stands there and gets hit while everyone else, the aggro mechanic is very different in this game. One thing you can do is you can dodge, and if you do that as an enemy attacks you, you actually evade their attack. So this is very crucial while in dungeons and while in groups and during world events and different boss battles, because it kind of takes away from the fact that you don't have necessarily a dedicated healer who's just casting straight up healing spells on you. So it makes combat actually really fun, very interesting, and unlike some games out there where a boss experience is strictly based on its mechanics, this game boss experiences are very much based on the group you're playing with, so it can actually change every time. Despite the fact that you might always fill the same role, you might have to do things completely differently. Another really fun thing in this game is its PvP. So if I go to the PvP tab, here we go. So you get ranked on, you kind of level up your PvP level. Right now I'm a rabbit. I haven't really done a whole lot of PvP on this character. I have on my other character a little bit more. And this is just like any other PvP. It's an arena with a objective. You complete the objective, you win, you kill other players, stuff like that. So this is a standard PvP. Again, it's fun and it's different because your combat role can change on the fly. You're actually able to change weapons. I have it down to the tilde key on the fly. While in combat, there's a short cooldown, but you can still change weapons even while in combat. So that makes PvP interesting because you might go up against the same person during the same match, and they might suddenly be range or they might be melee, and it can kind of really change things. What set Guild Wars apart in the beginning, of course, was their World v World. It's 3 different realms or servers, all kind of pitted against each other for essentially control of the map. So I'm on Darkhaven. As you can see, we're kind of winning right now, which is really nice. And we're going against these 2 different servers right now. So if I were to go to this area and I bring up the map, you'll see it's a full world map, just kind of like this world map here. So that and that guy. So it's a full world map, just like this. In fact, I might be able to even find it somewhere on here. Anyway, full world map, and it's got just a bunch of different objectives, capture points, etc. And you're really, literally going against an entire other server. I think some battles can be 40 versus 40 versus 40. It can get crazy, which of course equals it can kind of get crazy on your computer. Last time I did it, I was getting some terrible FPS because so many spells going on at once, so many people trying to do things and kill each other that it got a little crazy, but it was still a lot of fun. And something that's really worth kind of, in my opinion, picking this game up, because if you like PvP in these games, there's kind of really no better setting for it than Guild Wars here. So that's kind of the game mechanics. That's kind of what goes on here. Next, let's just kind of discuss why is this game worth getting now? It's been out for a couple years now. So what's different? Well, the game is updated about every 2 weeks or so. They're constantly fixing bugs. They're constantly, rebalancing different professions and adding new things. Something that's interesting, you didn't see it, but when I first logged onto this character today, it was after a short update. Small, wasn't too big. I got this letter. We're taking back Lion's Arch. Lion's Arch is the main city. It's a big old hub for everything. And recently, there was a event in which the Lion's Arch was actually taken over, and it was inaccessible. You couldn't even enter it. Now, apparently, they're fighting to get it back. So this is something that's really cool, that's unique in this game. I've participated in several of these events, but they have these world events that continuously change. I know World of Warcraft did this a few times, but they only did it once or twice. They did it for pre-expansions, things like that. Guild Wars is constantly doing this. About every 2 weeks, like I said, they're re-updating the game, and they're putting in a new full world, full server event, which everyone could participate in. Even at level 41, I was able to participate in these, high level things, because again, you can be scaled up. Not only scaled down, you're scaled up. That also, should have mentioned this, that also is true for PvP. So if you go do World v World, everyone gets leveled up to 60. What's kind of, you got to be a little bit careful of this is just because your stats are leveled up to 60, it doesn't mean the stats on your gear are scaled up, and also doesn't mean your skills are leveled up. So if you're level 2 and you have maybe only your weapon skills, you haven't even unlocked these yet, and you go to World v World, you're not going to be doing a whole lot. You're not going to be contributing at all because you only have like 2 or 3 skills available. So that's something to keep in mind. But like I said, still a lot of fun. Great way to earn experience as well. So that's kind of been Guild Wars 2 in a nutshell. There's a lot more information out there. This game has a lot going on for it right now. I'm sure there's plenty of information out there. I say, honestly, this is just a great pickup. So let's kind of discuss what the final startup cost for this whole game is. I mentioned it before, and I'll just mention it again. $49.99 right now is what gets you this full game completely. Let's compare that to some of the other big RPGs out there right now. World of Warcraft, of course, the big dog right now. $39.98 to get the full current game. So that's World of Warcraft, the initial, all the expansions up through Cataclysm, and then Mists of Pandaria. So that's about $39.98. Plus, you have a $15 a month subscription fee. So you get that one free month when you buy all these games. You only get 1 month free. Then you get on to $15 a month. Then, of course, coming up really soon is their $49.99 expansion. So for the same price of an expansion, you can get a full game in the form of Guild Wars. Plus, with that expansion will come the, of course, subscription fee. Some other games out there that are kind of free to play that kind of, in my opinion, don't exactly have very fair microtransactions. It was like Star Wars: The Old Republic. Yes, it's free to play, but you're so heavily restricted based on the free to play. They kind of every step of the way are trying to get you to be like, hey, spend money, subscribe, please subscribe to our game, that couldn't make the subscription model work. So, I would avoid that personally. Another game out there that's pretty big is Rift. It's free to play. It's not as restrictive. It actually is quite a bit of fun. I won't lie. But I still enjoy Guild Wars a lot more. I have played Rift. I didn't like it near as much. I didn't think it felt as fun, and also I didn't think it had the same level of, okay, I'm a little behind, but I can catch up like Guild Wars does. So for $50, Guild Wars 2, you get a full game, which is really saying something nowadays, which is sad, but it's true. You get a lot of fun. It's constantly being updated. They haven't exactly announced an expansion for this game yet. I personally believe they might hold off on that because, like I said, since they keep updating it constantly with all these they put in new events, they put in new raids. They might just kind of forego the expansion, because I have a feeling they're probably making a decent amount off their microtransactions. Something I've noticed in games with microtransactions, the more fair you make it, the more money you make, because people are just like, oh, well, okay, yeah, sure, I'll pay a little bit of money for this thing, why not? But when you're forced to pay money, people get a little on edge about that. So if you would like to win a copy of Guild Wars 2, please like this video. Also, you can subscribe to this channel. That'd be really awesome. If you already own Guild Wars 2, I'll give you the game value of the in-game currency, the gems. So, anyone can win. If we get up to 100 likes for this video, then we'll be drawing a winner. So make sure you share and tell people about it. Try to help me get my name out if you like what I do. So until next time, my name's been White Nun with Nun2 Games, reminding you to just keep gaming.